Hi, this is Justin from AC Hamilton in sunny Preston. I'm here with our tech guru Keith, and we're here with the long-awaited Korg PA5X software update 1.4, which gives us new styles, new keyboard sets and new functions, which Keith is going to very ably show you in a few moments. And of course, from this day forwards, we will be shipping Korg PA5X with that software version installed, along with our own extra software that we preload into the Korg PA5X before we send it out to our lucky customers. So before we, without further ado, I'll hand you over to Keith to show you the features of 1.4.
Yeah, so this video is going to be specifically about the recording section, the recording studio section of version 1.4. You've got in excess of 40 new styles and other features with the new software. But I just want to look at the quick record to show why this new feature is absolutely brilliant. Probably makes it one of the best quick recorders on the market. So we'll take a look and let us know what you think. Right, so I'm going to take one of the new styles that's part of the update, the World Roll Pop. And before we do the quick record feature, the new recording studio, there's something really important to make sure, because you have access to 4 sounds within the screen. So the 4 sounds that you really want to use really need to be set up here in your keyboard sets. So we can just select them like that, and that will allow us to change them and edit them whilst we're editing the recording. So I can't choose from this section when I'm in the recording studio after the recording. So I'm going to press record, and at the bottom here you'll see on the screen you've got recording studio, so I'm going to press that. Now what we've got on the screen here, we've got the style, the chord, the pad and the keyboard set. The style, obvious, that's whatever style we've got set up. The chord, that can be what you play, or it can be a chord sequence which is stored in here as well, or from any of the preset sequences that are there to choose from. The pad is your multipads here to choose from to add little bits to your song, and then the keyboard set is what's happening on the right hand side here. Resolution is basically if you're slightly out of time, it's going to bring you in time. We just leave that as standard. We're not going to go too deep into that right now. We're just going to keep this as simple as possible for when you want to record. What is important, there's 2 different sides here with the buttons. So the yellow side here, this is your style section. So if I press play here, this will trigger the style to start when the recording starts. It will give a count in, and it will just start. Where this side's flashing red, if I press play here, this is just going to start recording. The style will not work until I trigger record or start the style manually. So you just got to bear that in mind, and this is why it's important to have everything set up first. Okay, so I need to make sure I've got everything set up first. So I'm going to play my first chord. It won't synchronize start, so you have to press play to actually start the recording sequence. I'm going to have an intro as well, and when I press play, everything will just start recording. We'll get a count in, and then we just go. So let's have a go. So now I press stop here to stop the recording. So now we've finished the recording. This side's gone green to indicate the recording's done, and this will always remain yellow. If I just press play at this side, the song should play back, so let's just prove that. Great, so that's there, but now we need to look at what makes this really clever. So we've got different menu options at the bottom, but I'm going to go to the Record Edit tab down here, and we can see the individual blocks on the screen. So what we've got the styles at the top, so the style selected, which part of the style is in use. We've got the chords that have been played. At the bottom we've got the keyboard set, so whichever keyboard set we had selected. And we've even got 4 rows for the pads here. If they were recorded, or we can, as you'll see later, we can bring other parts in. But as I press play, this will then start to scroll across. So let's have a look at that. So I can see what's happening as the song's playing. As we go further forward, I'm going to make sure I'm in the position block here, and then just scroll forward with the dial, and I can see all the different chords played. So I can see I can get to a particular chord here, and I think, okay, I want a fill-in to be put in the bar before. So what I can do, I can choose the variation on the screen, and now I've got the option to press add, which will create a split in this here. So press add. That's changed to variation 1. I'm just going to move along. Actually, I'm just going to, I'm going to choose fill in. So I'm going to choose here fill in. I'll go for fill in 2. Back to position, scroll along a bar. I'm going to press add. And this time I want this bit to be variation 2. So now as this plays, we'll get to that point in the song, I'll get the fill in, then it'll switch to variation 2, which we didn't have before. So let's just back it up. Sometimes when we're not triggering the style from a certain point, it might seem a little bit slightly out of time when you're playing a song from a certain position, but that'll correct itself when you play from the start of the song. So let's just have a listen to what this change has done. So you can hear there we've got the fill in and it's switched to variation 2. So now we can really start to control our song. Just so you know, some shortcuts. I can hold the setting button, spin the wheel, zoom in and out. And if I hold the menu button and spin the wheel, it jumps through the song much faster. So I want to make some other changes. Over here I've got a fill in 1. I didn't really want that at that point in the song, so I'm going to go, now I've highlighted it, I'm going to go down here. I'm going to choose fill 3. I'm going to choose this variation 1 here, and I'm going to set that to variation 4. So let's go here. We can actually touch on the timeline, it'll jump there. Just press play and see what happens now. When I get to this point, I want to go to a different variation. I want to jump back to variation 2, for example. So I can go here. What I want to do is maybe go a bar before. I'm going to change the zoom a little bit, hold the setting, zoom in. So right there, I might want to do a fill in. It's selected. I'm going to press add. I'm going to change that to fill in 2 for the sake of it, and come here and then press add and change this back to variation 2. So we will just zoom out a little bit. I want to see what that's done to the actual song. So you can see, absolutely brilliant for editing your song after you've done the recording. We can delete those sections, we can change how long they last for and all sorts. But we can also do it to the sounds. So let's say we'll just scroll through the song a bit and I want to change my sound here. So if I go to this point, I click on the sound section, I click on add, and I've got my split now. So this is why it was important before these keyboard sets were set up, because I get to choose from whatever was sat in here. So this is highlighted. If I press the arrow, I get to choose from the settings. So just for the sake of it, I'll choose the overdrive guitar. And if I press play now, so we've got those changes have occurred, and I can just put this, deal with these sort of changes and fill-ins and wherever I want to. And that is absolutely brilliant for producing your song afterwards. You can't always press all the buttons you want and get it right first time. Now we've got the multipads here as well. Now we didn't use a multipad before, but as we know, we can add things in. So if I want, I don't know, let's go to near the beginning of the song, and we've got to choose the actual row here. So if I press this row, it says pad 4, and as I go up pad 3, pad 2, you'll see it change there on the screen. So pad 4, just going to put it onto that timeline position. So this pad here, we've got some guitar thing. We might want to add that in. So if I press add, it appears there. We can change the length of it if we want to here, where the length is. So if I wanted that to last for 4 bars, I can just do that, clear that, 4, and that's it. So when I press play, it's just subtle, it's in the background, we can adjust the volumes, this sort of thing. But you can see the capability of being able to edit like this, and just nothing else does what this does right now. We can see things like what parts were turned on in the keyboard set. We can see the chords that were used. We can see the pads, what they were as well. On the main screen here, if we actually want to, let's say we didn't like what we did in the melody line and we need to take it again, I can set that back into record, and I can record that while the rest of it plays. So let's assume you're happy with your song, you've done all the editing. What we can do is we can save this arrangement so you can modify it again in the future, or load it back in and play it whenever you want. So you have to use the save arrangement feature. The problem with that is it only works on here. So if you want to play with this as a song, you can't if you want to use it in a song player. It has to be a MIDI file. In order to be a MIDI file, we have to use the export arrangement as MIDI song. So like I said, that'll save this so we can bring it back whenever we want to edit. But if I want to play it as a MIDI file on here or somewhere else, I use export arrangement as MIDI song. We give it a name. We tell it where we want to save it. It might be USB or wherever it is we want to save it. We give it a name. New arrangement, that'll do for now. Press save. We're just overwriting one that we saved earlier. And that's it. So that now exists as a MIDI file. If I come out of here and I don't want to lose it, I must remember to save as an arrangement. And that's done. Press record edit to exit. Then if I want to play back the song, I can press song. I can use it on any side. Song here, for example, on player 1 or player 2. The new arrangement's there. So when I press play, the song will contain all the changes and all the other things we've added during the performance during the arrangement. now we can use the full editing system. So if I press record and edit, I've now got song edit here for the song we selected, and I've actually got a lot of full in-depth editing features in here for individual tracks. So if I want to add another track and another one, I know if I want to add some strings or stabs, whatever I want in there, and I've got full editing as well. So if I press menu, where you get things like event edit to modify the events, the notes on each individual track that was recorded. So once you've done your recording, you've got complete control once it's a MIDI file over every little tiny parameter you can imagine, and being able to add other tracks. And that's what makes this such a powerful product and a new update. So we hope you enjoyed the video. Just wanted to show you the sort of basics of everything within the new studio recording screen. Really good add-on to the software. It will really help with the recording, your creation of your songs. But yeah, that's just a small portion of what comes with the version 1.4.
Great, thanks Keith, and we're very lucky here at AC Hamilton to have somebody like Keith who's so good at all of technical stuff, and you can pick up the phone. If you buy from here, you can pick up the phone and speak to him after you bought the keyboard, not just before you hand your money over. So thanks for us for now, and we'll see you next time.